Galnet News, your galaxy in focus. 22nd of January, 3302. Our top story today is from Satera Eleshanar of the Interstellar Press. Yesterday, Professor Ishmael Palin called upon independent pilots to deliver meta-alloys produced by the newly discovered barnacles in the Pleiades Nebula to Obsidian Orbital, suggesting that the material could be the cure for the technological virus spreading through inhabited space. But Professor Violet Belbin of the Xenological Research Institute has expressed doubts, saying, "I would caution against assuming that this material is the answer to our problems. The nature of these barnacles is not fully understood. They could be a form of alien life, and harvesting them could have unforeseen consequences. The Xenological Research Institute is sending a team to Maya and asks that Professor Palin takes our concerns into consideration. Pilots have already started delivering cargo holds full of meta-alloys to Professor Palin's base of operations at Obsidian Orbital." This comes after more disturbing news earlier in this week that starports continue to fall victim to the technological plague. Authorities in Eravate, Almar and Halbangay have confirmed that theirs are the latest systems to experience mysterious technical issues, bringing the total number of systems affected by what some are calling the technological plague to 22. All services apart from docking and shipyard access have been suspended at Ackerman Market in Eravate, von Bellingshausen Port in Almar, and Hack Gateway in Halbangay. Also in the Interstellar Press today, from Satera Eleshanar, last week Sirius Corporation announced the successful recovery of debris belonging to lost passenger liner the Antares, and proclaimed its intention to subject the wreckage to extensive testing to determine the cause of the vessel's destruction. What is still not known is whether any organic remains were found. The Friends of Antares Memorial Group issued a brief statement which said, "We trust that if any biological remains have been found, Sirius Corporation will not delay in repatriating them to the next of kin for appropriate funerary rites." One pilot who worked on the recovery effort said, "If the craft rips itself apart, I doubt there'll be anything left. If it didn't, well, I've done a lot of rescues and even more wreckages. Explosive decompression ain't pretty, and I'm not talking about the bulkheads. Any who didn't try to hold their breaths will have been turned into swollen blue icicles. I don't know if Sirius Corporation picked any up though. All I found were twisted scraps of metal." Sirius Corporation has yet to confirm the recovery of organic remains. The Highliner Antares was the famous and experimental Sirius Corporation passenger ship that disappeared during its maiden voyage of 3251 while testing a new type of hyperspace drive. Earlier this month, Lee Yong-rui stated that the wreckage appeared to confirm massive component failure leading to a malfunction that destroyed the liner with the apparent loss of all crew and passengers. And now a report from Commander Edgar Starwalker of the Interstellar Press. Findings published by advocacy group Chapter House of Inquisition point to increased corporate influence in the Senate. The coronation of Arissa Lavini Duval had commentators predicting resurgence for patronage governments in political centres throughout the empire, driven by the new emperor's lauded traditionalism. Chapter House's report paints a different picture, highlighting Nayalayan, Vish, and Okairi, examples of key systems that formerly sent senators from among their patrons to Akinar, but in recent weeks have seen their governments restructured, and new senators sponsored by corporations instead. Selune Saunders, a spokesperson for the Chapter House HQ in Kamadhinu, explained the report's implications, saying, "The changing makeup of the Senate means the Emperor will face some serious hurdles passing her legislation. Measures seen to unduly favour the Empire's various pax societies and leagues, widely supportive of the Emperor, will be robustly challenged, as will measures that risk curtailing freedoms of the corporate sphere." Saunders refused to take questions on social media rumours that Federation mercenaries covertly support certain corporations in the Empire. Independent news feeds link the changes in the Senate with recent slowdowns in Arissa Lavini Duval's anti-corruption projects. Elsewhere in the Empire, an announcement this week was made by Lord Commander of the 13th Legion, previously a combat wing under Aisling Duval, in which it emerged that the Legion would be supporting the Empire as a whole, rather than remaining devoted to Duval. Lord Commander Nightshady, in a statement to the press, made clear that in a show of imperial unity, the leadership of the Prismatic Imperium graciously permitted this move for the betterment of the Empire. He reminded Imperials everywhere that the Legion offers expert combat training to pilots of all skill levels seeking membership, and made the pledge that in the name of defending any Imperial system, a wing of 13th Legion ships could arrive within 15 minutes of being summoned. Moving forwards, the organisation will go by the name of Empire's 13th Legion. And now a report from a commander known by the name Furry Cat. Officials at Kanwa Horizons in the Turbo system have strenuously denied allegations of involvement in an unsanctioned buckyball racing club event known as the Turbo Hour Endurance Race, which will apparently run alongside the station's annual air show and Starship exhibition. Station Entertainment Director Hector Lamont, described as preposterous, claims that the Turbo Blue Netcoms exchange was secretly bankrolling the race in order to attract larger crowds, saying, "Our air show is wholesome entertainment and we don't want it ruined by these buckyballers and their high-octane shenanigans." Lamont had a clear message for anyone tempted by rumours of a free ship respray for the winners. He said, "I'm sure that authorities in the 49D Orionis, Unkulke and Vasak systems would agree that racers will find the same strictly enforced speed limits and standard market prices for fuel and repairs at our stations as any other law-abiding pilot." The air show will run from the 25th of January to the 14th of February. Some news from Wolf 1230 today via Commander Gan of the Interstellar Press. The issue of security has come to the fore in Wolf 1230 today as the Da Vinci Corporation with Wolf 1230 Dynamic Industries reveal plans to establish a free fly zone within its space. Finding endemic corruption and malpractice within the existing security force, Da Vinci Corporation intend to take on policing themselves to create a neutral territory where all commanders can fly without fear of intimidation and violence. Spokesman for the Da Vinci Corporation, T.T. Starr, outlined the project, saying, "No matter your background or allegiance, if you respect the rules, you will be welcome. Da Vinci Corporation commanders, along with specially commissioned volunteers, will police Wolf 1230 and its surrounding systems to ensure the safety of all visiting pilots. If the scheme proves successful, the Da Vinci Corporation, along with Wolf 1230 Dynamic Industries, will promote our systems for hosting galactic events in the future." And some news from Alliance Space now. Earlier this week, the Communism Interstellar faction announced a proposed agreement with supporters of Edmund Mahon relating to the desire of both factions to expand their spheres of influence in the galaxy. The agreement, in the draft phase, requests that Edmund Mahon's territory is not expanded towards the Partha, Manite or Mikun systems, and, in exchange, Communism Interstellar will not take actions that could weaken Mahon's position in Partha. One notable exception clause within the agreement states that Communism Interstellar would be permitted to sway the government in Binde towards communism, the main aim of the faction overall. Communism Interstellar model themselves on the ancient Earth ideology involving common ownership of property and an attempt at eradicating class boundaries and monetary exchange, and take their inspiration from the philosopher Karl Marx. In previous Earthbound eras, communism was attempted by humanity with mostly negative results, such as the nation known as the Soviet Union, which emerged in the aftermath of the First Earth World War. Once starbound, however, communism has found a peaceful place in the galaxy, with numerous examples of functional communist societies in existence today. That's the Galnet news for today. Tune in next time to keep your galaxy in focus.